Once again, apologies for the really crappy quality video. I'm going to make more of an effort to make these look better soon, but for now, the mind is so incredible, like incredibly simple, but also incredibly complex. It's like a chameleon, our mind. You put it in an environment that can be a city or a town within a city, a country, you know, a school, your job, whatever your environment is, your family, your friends, the movies you listen to, the music you listen to, the foods you eat, pretty much everything. Once you're put into an environment like that, it's literally your mind starts to adapt like the skin of a chameleon, like in a matter of days, like just it starts to adapt to your environment. And it takes a while. And it's interesting, like 3 months for me seems to be a magic number. And I hear that online a lot as well, that 3 months of dieting, 3 months of meditating, 3 months of whatever, exercise. Um, I think after 3 months, your mind has like gone about 50% of the way there. So it's got a good grasp of your environment. Now, I want you to think of this in terms of how you feel, like anxiety and depression, all of this, because I think that after a breakup, what happens is you pretty much have associated, like conditioning a dog, the way they condition animals in labs. If they do something wrong, they give them pain. If they do something right, they give them, a treat. It's the same. Our chameleon mind, every unique setting, like let's say if it's like a skin of a chameleon, it's like a billion different colors on every little skin cell that helps to get the chameleon to blend into its environment. And the same with our brains, like billions and billions of, like nerve cells that, like a chameleon, just absorb the environment and create the brain to adapt and blah blah. Yeah, it's crazy. And when you're in a relationship and are so happy, what we're doing is we're conditioning that feeling of happiness, just like the dog getting a treat. We're conditioning that feeling of happiness with that particular setting on the skin of the chameleon on our brain. So, to cut a long story short, when you're conditioning your brain to believe that happiness and this relationship are one, go hand in hand. So anything that is out of that environment, like a different environment, so when the chameleon moves into a different environment, for us that would be, let's say we lose our job, or we change our job, change our city, change our country, lose a boyfriend, lose a girlfriend, have a divorce, lose someone we love. When our environment changes, especially like in a big way, but you see this like with everything. Like people get upset like when the local coffee shop closes down after 20 years, or so people don't like change, yeah? And especially like big change. So if I'm going from in a relationship, that's one life. That's one unique setting on the chameleon, and it's one completely unique setting in my mind that's now been stamped with this euphoric happiness. So when that changes, especially drastically, like for me, when I had my breakup, it was I went through a breakup after being together for 3 years. I also lost where I was living, which was like my perfect dream house and dream life. And funnily enough, this gorgeous old truck that I love just stops running, which is amazing. Another story in itself, because magically starts working again a couple of days after my ex contacts me after we broke up. But that's a whole other story. But anyway, so for me it was like the loss of a house, relationship, my truck, which I freaking love, this old truck. just my gym that I was training every day at, my whole life completely changed. And it's painful because it's like the chameleon took so long to get the colors perfect in its environment, and now it's been thrown into like from the jungle, which is all green colors and on its back. Now it's gone to the desert, which is like all sandy, completely opposite. So now the chameleon has to use up so much energy to relearn how to survive in this new environment. And that's what happens when we break up is like two things. Is the first one is like this incredible amount of energy that now needs to be used to, refocus your brain on a new life, new environment, and it takes energy. It's not magic. It's just that takes work. Your whole uh, personality that you've created, like that setting of the chameleon skin, that unique personality is dead. It's gone. So in a way, that's why it's so hard, because we really feel like we're dead or we're dying, and there's now a new life that's coming, and it's very much the truth. But the thing is, it's just a setting. So you've gone from jungle setting to now desert setting, and then again, it just takes time, and as long as you let the mind be in as much peace as possible in its environment, it will start to adapt. And we're amazing like that. Now, what can make your breakup longer or harder is if you, in your mind, just cling on, and you wind up being a chameleon with a big green leaf on its back in the middle of the desert. So, it's not great for the survival of the chameleon. The chameleon needs to let go completely of the jungle and adapt to its environment. And that's what we all have to do. Not just with breakups, but just with everything in life. You have to just remember that you're not the skin, you're not the jungle skin, you're not the sand skin, you're not the snow skin. You're the chameleon that's underneath, the living, breathing creature that just is seeks to survive. And I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that. There is. There's Disneyland, and there's Universal Studios, and there's this incredible life that's happening. So, embrace it. It's the best ride ever invented. So, and there's no height restriction, there's no age restriction. Everyone's welcome. Come one, come all, and just go with it. Enjoy the ride.